Well, who do I have here with me today?
Hi Don, my name's John Keller. Um, I live here in Lakeland and I'm originally from Fort Meade. You asked me to come in today because you happen to admire my art.
That's exactly right.
My art is creating custom-made corn cob tobacco pipes.
How in the world, I have to have, this is the question I've been asking. How do you start in corn? How do you decide? Was it in your mom, dad gene? Why corn cob pipes?
Corn cobs, when I first started dabbling or took an interest in smoking tobacco pipe, one of the most economical ways that a person that is interested in pursuing this hobby is corn cob pipes. A lot of people may be familiar with Missouri Meerschaum, who is in Missouri, and they've been in business this year, I think will be 155 years.
Wow.
So, like, if you ever recall going to the old school drugstore,
Rexall,
or what have you, and seeing those corn cob pipes behind the shelf, those more than likely were Missouri Meerschaum. So what I do, I take one of their factory-made corn cob pipes and I break it down and use the bowl as my starter canvas for creating a custom cob, if you will. Now, their merchandise within itself is perfectly excellent the way it comes, the way you would purchase it, but I take it a little step further and make it, I like to think, make it a unique piece of art. Because in my world, being a member of the pipe community, the pipe smoking community, a lot of people have the concept or the ideal that corn cob pipes are disposable due to the material possibly they've made of versus other materials that can be used to make tobacco pipes. With this being said, ever since in 2016 or 17 when I first started dabbling with doing what I do, my goal was to discredit that, misinterpretation that they're disposable.
You throw it away.
Yeah, that they're disposable.
So typically, I'm very ignorant, if you will.
Right.
Eager to learn, though. Growing up as a kid, you see the corn cob on the cartoons.
Exactly.
You hear it from your grandparents.
Exactly.
I had grandparents that used it. And so where did it go from being a everyday use item that you don't throw it away to being disposable? How did that come about?
Well, maybe it's not truly disposable. For clarity, I'll back up and add some clarity because I'd like to be clearer when I say things. It's just a mentality, if you will, that some of the pipe community has, not all of them. And I, like I said, my goal is to set out to discredit that myth. To discredit, debunk that myth.
It's a work of art that needs to be appreciated.
Yeah.
Not disposed of.
Exactly. Even with the factory-made ones, like I was saying, that Missouri Meerschaum manufacturers, they can last a long time. A lot of times, it just depends upon the abuse and the use that it gets from the owner, as with any tobacco pipe.
Can we see in that? You brought an example?
Yeah, I did.
Because I see your work online, Instagram. I see your stuff all the time, and it's incredible.
Yeah, Instagram, you can find me at JWK2366. I do not have a website, but this is basically just hit me up with a direct message, and that's how you inquire about what I might have available or what I might be working on. And I try to post as I'm making and when they're done. The one you're holding right now has been named Miami Haze.
Miami Haze?
Yes. So when we started with this piece was actually one of the factory-made corncob pipes. I removed, this is the bowl, if anyone's not familiar. Some of the pipes that you'll get from the company will have, as you see, a wooden plug on this particular model that I like to use as my canvas, it does not come with a wooden plug. What does the wooden plug do? The wooden plug keeps the pipe from burning through. So to educate someone on the makings of a corncob pipe, all these little divots here are where the actual kernels would attach. The center where it's on this particular model, prior to me modifying it, is soft. It's almost like styrofoam rubber, or foam rubber, if you will. It's very soft. It can be penetrated with a simple sharp object like a pencil.
So it would not last as long.
Exactly. So I take this and then I add a hardwood plug to this particular model, and I remove the factory shank and create a custom shank that I make myself. This portion here of the pipe is called the shank. So we have the bowl, the shank, and then the mouthpiece. This is made from oak, just like the plug. I like working with oak. It's a very user-friendly material. It works good on the corncob pipes and so forth. So this is made from raw stock that I turn on my wood lathe.
Okay. And you do this all in your own shop? You got a shop at home?
Yes,
and you do it
yes.
all yourself?
Yes,
That's what's incredible.
yeah, it's all done. It's a process, but it's all done. This particular black shiny material that you'll see here on this particular pipe is called ebonite. What is ebonite? Ebonite is vulcanized rubber. It's a process of vulcanizing rubber that is, most of the time the manufacturers are in Germany.
Okay.
So I have various vendors that I can buy the black standard ebonite, or sometimes it'll come in swirled colors, such as the stem material here. Same material.
Oh, that is the same. The mouthpiece?
The mouthpiece is the same material, and this all starts as a round stock rod. It's like a dowel, if you will.
Yeah.
So I will place that on the lathe, drill it, and whether I'm using it as an accent piece, such as this on the stem, or the shank as it's sometimes called, you'll drill it and shape it accordingly, you know. Now the mouthpiece, again, is also made from the same material.
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea why they chose the vulcanized rubber? Does it absorb the smoke and flavor or something?
That I don't. I've never really pondered too much on that. I know it's been used for a long period of time in the pipe making world. Years past, hundreds of years ago, they would make these stems out of bone or antler, sometimes wood. Now, this piece here, this little black piece we're looking at here on the stem, that is called a tenon.
So, a what?
Tenon.
Tenon.
Tenon, okay. Now that's basic wood shop. Tenon, mortise. Mortise is the receiving end, tenon is
I call it, you know what I'm gonna call it, right? Male and female.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, or plumbing. Yeah, male and female plumbing. So, you know, it just fits in there. That is made of Delrin, which is like a nylon. It's a rod also that is, you know, whatever size the maker chooses to use, they drill it and then adhere it via, you know, glue into the mouthpiece. The mouthpieces can also be made from acrylic or materials in the acrylic family.
That is fantastic. And so you're sitting several years ago at home saying, "What can I do?" How did you go? And I mean, I guess you were a fan and a smoking.
Yeah, I grew up. I can remember my grandfather smoked a pipe, and my dad also was a pipe smoker, and I just kind of.
Did your dad ever make these?
No.
You did it all on your own?
Yeah, I self-taught.
That is incredible, because you picked something that you enjoy, so you know you put your heart into it, and then each and every piece, it's its own piece. You don't take commissions.
Correct. No commissions.
You do the work, and if you appreciate it, come see you.
Yeah, exactly. If not, like I say, I'll have a doozy of a collection.
Absolutely. And you put your heart into it, so every piece that you make, the time, the effort, the appreciation that you put in, it stays with the piece. So it doesn't matter where the piece goes, that person's going to appreciate it no matter where it goes, because you put your heart into it.
And I always say a blessing over each bite.
Amen. Amen. And so your Instagram is what?
JWK2366.
That's fantastic. And you want to share what you did before this?
Well, when I started this back in 2016 or 17, I was still working full time as a licensed practical nurse here in the area.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, had 25 plus years in one of the local hospitals, and then I switched up things and went to working at 2 of the major clinics here in town.
Well, I know who that is. I worked there too. Who hasn't, right?
Exactly.
Who hasn't?
I'm currently retired. Life dealt me some people might say misfortune, but life deals us things sometimes.
Roadblocks, speed bumps.
Curb bumps for better paths.
I agree.
So I was medically retired, if you will, at a young age of my early 50s. So I don't let that slow me down. I don't view it as a disability or
Same way with me.
You know,
Mine was at 49.
So
Yeah, I retired at 49 because of health,
yeah.
and I don't let it slow me down.
No.
Everything I do is online. It's not physical.
Yeah.
The easy stuff, if you will.
You know, you just have to learn whatever your scenario might be, how to listen to your body, how to take care of your body, get adequate rest, food, nutrition, and try to keep things out of balance. You know?
Amen. That is fantastic. And you have that sign.
Yeah.
Now you mind if I put that sign up here? Yes, sir. This is my favorite. Did you make this?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. If you don't mind, we'll just continue. This sign, what made you decide to make this sign, and did you make it yourself?
Yeah, I did. It's just one of those things. It's like I sit on my patio, I enjoy a pipe, and for me, sitting on my patio and enjoying a pipe or a cigar is a way of just disconnecting from the hustle and bustle of life that we all can get wrapped up in. You know, for me, it's sitting on the patio and enjoying a pipe or a cigar and just being in the now, just living. Sometimes by living, it doesn't have to be an activity. It's just existing.
That's right. In the here and now.
In the here and now.
Yeah, I'm a meditator.
I do too.
I'm a meditator. I know it works.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody to tell me. I've done it. I know. I've been doing it for a long time. And it does. That's exactly what my meditation does. It brings me to the here and now.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally realized, after a long time, that if you're worried about anything, you're in the future.
Yes.
And if you're depressed,
You're worried about the past.
you're worried about the past. You got to get yourself to the here and now.
Because that's
For-
all we have.
That's all you have.
Yesterday is gone and tomorrow is not promised.
That's exactly right. And so when you realize this, you start to practice being in the here and now,
Mhm.
because your next breath may not be here. If you appreciate what you got now, maybe God will give you the next moment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So you have to go back in your mind and forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive, because if you're holding emotions in any thought, you haven't forgiven. You either need to forgive yourself or forgive someone else.
And sometimes you have to do it not because what they've done or what you may experience is forgivable, but it's for your inner peace, thus living in the now and enjoying
Yeah,
what
that's right.
moment you have.
If you hold on to regret, envy, all of those deadly sins, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting nobody else, you're hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're worried about the future, if it's out of your control, what the hell? But as a kid and growing up, these things, these social and peer pressure and all,
Mm-hmm.
they develop in you.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes attention and want to raise your level of awareness
A lot of
into the moment.
A lot of inner work, and almost like a snake shedding skin or a tree losing its leaves, but it does continue to grow, you know.
That is fantastic. So you worked at Watson, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
And that was the last place of employment. Prior to that, I had worked at, back then it was called Clark and Daughtry.
I remember them. I remember Clark and Daughtry really well.
Yeah, nowadays they're called Lakeland Regional Health. But yeah, my last place of physical employment was at Watson Clark.
Yeah, I walked away. I worked for them for 2 years, walked away, said shove it. And they fired my wife. My wife been there 13 years, and COVID, March of 20, she wouldn't go back, and they fired her, and we got like 2 years worth of unemployment. It worked out really well. But Watson Clinic, and do you mean tell me Clark and Daughtry was absorbed by Lakeland Regional? I didn't know that. I know they had a couple of clinics, they were a competitor to Watson, but I didn't know they were absorbed. Oh, yeah. You learn something every day. So how long have you been in Lakeland?
I have been in Lakeland, oh snap, this coming Saturday I'll turn 58. I was about 20 when I left Fort Meade, when I took up with my children's mother and started a family and pursued a nursing career.
Fantastic. So how many kids you have?
I have 3 children.
3. Yeah, I got 2. And passing on the love, passing on, making my kids better than myself is my objective.
Yeah.
Try to make my kids better than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be good myself.
Well, yeah, that's always.
This is what you should do. You should make some more of these and sell those as well. Because I would like to have one. I kid you not.
It's a real simple thing, Don. You just take a plank or a couple of boards and whitewash paint it, a couple of screws and some jute and a Sharpie, you're good to go.
What made you think of doing that?
Honestly, I do not recall, but it was just one of those kind of.
That's one of the things I really like. I really, and when you do those posts from your back porch, and you include that, I notice, I assure you. Well, thank you so much, very much for your time,
pleasure.
John. I appreciate it very much. Have a fantastic day, and God bless you.
You as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Well.